Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today, as promised, I'm going to be doing a wear test on the new Bareminerals Complexion Rescue Natural Matte Tinted Moisturizer. You guys know how much I love when makeup products have super long names. Yeah. So this is what the box looks like. It is in a matte packaging, and then I guessed on my color here, so not sure if this is going to be my exact shade, but I chose Bamboo 5.5. I ordered this online, and so I never even got to swatch it in store or anything. I kind of just took a leap of faith. Anyways, I just want you to know today has already been super exhausting. I'm sure you can tell by my hair. My kid today has been, she's been in rare form. Yeah, she's getting her more teeth in. Yeah. Your mom, leave me a comment down below with like prayer hands, because that way I'll know that you know the struggle. So in the back of the, first of all, let me show you the packaging. Let's get back to this video. So it looks exactly like the original Complexion Rescue bottle, but the only difference is that this one is black, the original one is gold, and this is in like this matte kind of packaging. And then in the back, where you see the shade name, it says shake well before applying. So let me just show you that. Okay, see that? I really like the packaging. I think it's really sleek. I do love a nice little matte finish to, like, you know, kind of matte foundations. I think it's super convenient because especially when you have a larger collection of foundations, it is, I know this is super distracting, I'm sorry. When you have a larger collection of foundations, it helps when the bottles are like frosted, because you can quickly know whether something is glowy or matte. All right, so I'm gonna apply this with a beauty blender. This foundation does not claim to be long wearing, so let's not think we're gonna get like 16-hour wear out of this. You know, it is a tinted moisturizer, and just so you guys know, it does come sealed with like this silver foil looking thing that I can't remove with my fingers, so that's what we're doing. All right, first of all, let me swatch this for you guys on the back of my hands. I did not, you know what I didn't do? I didn't shake it. Okay, now let's swatch this on the back of my hand. So right off the bat, it feels very moussey. So here we go. So that's how much I applied. I think this is gonna be a good shade for me. We'll see. So it does have this very soft, moussey texture, but even straight out of the bottle, you can see it's not overly glowy like the original Complexion Rescue. That is glowy. It's very glowy. So I'm glad that they took out a version for us combination oily girls, because that foundation is like one of their best sellers, and I've never been able to wear it just because I have combination oily skin, so it just really doesn't jive well with the natural oils of my skin. I may have applied too much, but I am using a beauty blender which soaks up some of the product, and it is a tinted moisturizer, so I'm expecting for this application to be light. So let's go ahead and distribute that on the face, and then let's just work it in. Now it feels really nice on the skin. I am going to give it that, and I'm really curious to see in this wear test how it's gonna perform with the natural oils of my face, because I find that with tinted moisturizers, when my oils start to peek through, sometimes it tends to separate the foundation, which is a problem because that doesn't look very good. So this is one layer. And as you can see, you can still see my acne scars. But it does have some decent coverage, you know. It's the coverage you would expect from a natural tinted moisturizer. You know what I mean? This is not full coverage foundation. So I feel like the coverage is nice. Let's go ahead and apply 2 layers just for the sake of this video, just to see how this is gonna build. It does have a broad spectrum SPF of 30, and it is a mineral sunscreen that's in this product. Okay, and you also get 1.18 fluid ounces. It is made in the USA. And that's how much I applied. So let's spread it out. Let's see how this works. So this is a first impressions. Obviously, this is a new product, so I have not played around with this at all. And I'm just gonna say, there are very few Bareminerals products that I don't like, so I have very high expectations of this product. And in case you guys were wondering, this particular foundation does have an expiration date. This one expires October 2024. So next year. All right, so it's sunk into the skin really nicely. I don't see any patchiness, and it builds up quite nicely. It's not emphasizing pores. It is giving me a soft matte finish. So what I mean by that is, I'm not sure if you're picking this up on the camera, but it's not a flat matte, if you guys can see. Like, it still has, you know, that slight, very slight healthy glow that the Complexion Rescue foundation has, which I think is the magic of Bareminerals Complexion Rescue. That's what people love about this foundation. It's that natural healthy glow that it gives you. So I'm glad that they were able to stay true to the original nature of the Complexion Rescue foundation by still giving that natural glow for us oily girls. So this is a nice, like, matte satin. I would say it's more like a satin finish than it is matte, because it's not like a flat matte, you know what I mean? It feels really nice. And as you can see, it's very blendable. I like it so far, but again, this is just first impressions, so let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's go ahead and set this a little bit in the T-zone with my Bareminerals Original Veil, and I am using my Too Faced Mr. Right brush. I'm just gonna do the T-zone. Very minimal product, and just like this area of the cheeks, which is where I have, you know, my enlarged pores and stuff like that. So immediately you can see the difference between this part of my face, and then when I turn, boom, you see the glow where I haven't applied the mineral veil. Sorry, tripping over my words today. All right, next let's go in with some bronzer. I'm gonna go very light-handed here. I'm gonna be using my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Bronzer in shade number 2. And I'm using a ColourPop F13 brush for my bronzer. Ever so lightly dipping it in here. And yeah, just giving a little bit of color. Now, I don't have one of the Bareminerals bronzers, but I feel like one of those would look great with this foundation, and then you have like your bronzer and blush in one. So if you have a Bareminerals bronzer, now would be the time to take it out. All right. Okay, next let's go in with some blush. I'm gonna be using my Chanel Fleur de Prince blush, which I think is perfect for the spring. So I have just been mixing this blush with a little bit of the highlighter, just all in one for like a satiny kind of highlight. And I'm using my Bareminerals Blooming Blush Brush. Just gonna slightly stamp that on my cheek. This blush is pretty pigmented, so I have to go really light-handed with it. That Beaujolais formula from Chanel is, yeah, it's pretty strong. So what I like to do is I go in with the same brush I used for my mineral veil, and I kind of just sweep it over the cheeks because I want to melt the blush into the bronzer. Okay. Now let's go ahead and prime our eyelids. I'm going to be using the Rare Beauty Eyeshadow Primer. You guys have seen me use this 1,000 times. Who else is excited about the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty, by the way? I'm not picking up much because you guys know that this year I'm not really buying too much makeup. And so you're gonna just see me use a lot of stuff in my collection. I may pick up a couple of things here and there. But things that I'm trying to buy are things I know I don't have a lot of in my collection, like blush, highlight, bronzer, stuff like that. Maybe some single shadows here and there, but not much. Okay, next I'm gonna be using my Too Faced Best Year Ever 2008 palette. And honestly, I think that the first time it's ever happened, but I'm actually going to be completely panning, like finishing this palette on this video. So we are going to be using these two colors right here and this bronzer shade and this brown matte shade down here. Literally nothing left in this, guys, so I'm super excited to be finishing this. Is it dirty and nasty? Absolutely it is. But don't act like your palettes also don't look like this when you're using them like every day. Okay, so I'm gonna go into a little bit of White Christmas, which is like this white shimmery frosty shade, and I'm just gonna kind of use that to lay down a small foundation to the eyelid. I also like to bring it up to the brow bone because it gives it a very subtle highlight after I've applied the other colors. Next, I'm going to go into Secret Santa, which is this matte pink shade. And I'm using the same brush. You guys know I'm notorious for using like the same brush when I'm applying eyeshadow. And oh, in case you guys were wondering, I'm using a Bareminerals a buffing eye brush. So this matte pink shade, I'm concentrating it just on the lid. And it gives it like this really pretty, very subtle pink tone to the lid, which I think matches nicely with the blush and the fact that we are entering spring. And although we're entering spring, I just want you to know, randomly, nobody was expecting this here in Florida. It just randomly went down to the 40s. Okay, 40s. I had already put away all my winter gear and I had to take it out again. So we're just working that into the eyelid. And I'm not being like super careful. You can see like this is just goof proof, you know? I'm so excited though that I've been able to pan this palette. You guys don't even know. Next, I'm going to go in with my Bareminerals Lid Line and Crease Brush. This is like a dual-ended brush. And to be quite frank, most of my Baremineral brushes that I've gotten have been in sets. They used to have a lot of like sets for their brushes, and their brushes have really stood the test of time. They're not the softest, I'm not gonna lie. They are, you know, synthetic, so you know, this is like these are really old. These are at least, I would say, 8 years old. They shed like a mother. But they are just durable and I can't complain. Like, they have served their purpose in my collection. I have way better brushes than this now. So I'm using this brown shade and I'm just kind of concentrating it on the outer crease. Again, I'm not being careful with this because we're gonna layer another color over this, which you'll see in a minute. So don't worry about, I'm not worrying about like skipping or anything like that, because I'm gonna clean that all up and blend it in a minute. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with the same brush that I used to apply the both lid shades, and I'm gonna pick up a little bit of this white Christmas color that I used at the beginning, which was that frosted white, and I'm gonna ever so slightly dip my brush in there. And guys, look how bad I'm sweating right now. It's that time of the month. Does that randomly happen to you guys? Like, do you just randomly just start to sweat for no reason? Yeah, it happens to me. Super fun. Okay, now I'm going to apply this color and kind of just clean everything up, highlight the brow bone, soften the edges, erase any kind of skipping in the crease, the sides. I'm going to do the same thing to the other eye. Okay, now we see, all right, so now we see how that all has, you know, melted in together. So here is the Bobbi Brown Shadow Stick in Incandescent. I'm gonna go ahead and swatch this on the back of my hand because I know that this is like a fan favorite color on my channel. So it's like this iridescent kind of color, but depending on where the light hits, sometimes you can see it and sometimes you can't. So I'm going to use this as a topper shade, and I'm just going to apply this to the inner half of the eyelid. Now I've been I've done this look a couple times and I get a lot of compliments on this. People, they just, I don't know, they really love this shade. Especially when I'm out and about running errands. I'm asked like, oh my gosh, your eyeshadow is so cool. I hope that this color is like a permanent color in the Bobbi Brown line, because I plan to purchase another one when I run out of this one. This does not budge, by the way, and it plays really well with shadows. So I'm just patting where both shadows meet, just so that there's like no harsh lines. All right, so for lashes, I went in with some Bareminerals Lashtopia Mega Volume Mineral Based Mascara, and I just did the top lashes. And for eyeliner, my Chanel eyeliner in number 518, which is like this purpley, bronzy, metallic kind of shade. Went in with Gimme Brown shade number 4 on my brows. And I did go in with my Chanel 949 Blank Graphique eyeliner on the bottom waterline. I did apply a little bit of my Bareminerals Blemish Remedy Concealer in light, just a little bit to the inner corners of the eye to kind of give it a little brightness. The concealer worked well. Honestly, I used very minimum. I just put like a little bit because it's a stick, so it's not really a liquid. I kind of just put some on my finger and I just tapped it into the corner of my eyes. Next, I'm gonna go in with some lipstick and gloss. So I pulled out my Bareminerals lipstick in Insight. This is what it looks like. So pretty. I like the color of this lipstick. It's like a very soft champagne shade, and it also has the name Bareminerals on the stick. Not my first time using this. This is a very soft, everyday kind of look, and I think it was gonna go really good with that Bobbi Brown topper shade. Next, I'm also gonna swatch, because I'm gonna layer this on top. This is my Bareminerals Gen Nude Lip Gloss in Everything, and I'm swatching this first just to show you guys. Look how pretty this. Oh, by the way, in case you're wondering, these spoolies are like kind of flat, and they have kind of like a scooping action there. I know some of you want to know that kind of information, but here we go. So this is that Bobbi Brown incandescent shade. This is the lipstick in Insight, and this is the gloss in Everything. So let's go ahead and apply that. The Bareminerals lipsticks are super, super creamy. I find them though to be slightly less opaque than like a traditional lipstick. You do have to, I find, layer a little bit more, which is fine. You guys know I do like the option of layering. You know, if I want like a soft wash of color, I like to have that option in just one lip product. Let's go in with the gloss. This does have a scent. It has a very soft, I would say like vanilla scent. It's very subtle. You can barely smell it, but it's there. I just think this gloss pairs so well with that lipstick. Amazing. All right, so here we have the final look, and you can see that this foundation has not oxidized, and it has dried really nicely. It does have that soft like satin finish. It's not like a flat matte. So let's see how this wears throughout the day.
Okay, hey guys, super quick. This is the 5-hour mark and I have sweat substantially, but I feel like it's holding up pretty good. This is a natural light. I had to actually step outside for this because it's super gloomy today. It is pretty dark, but so far so good. It's not sinking into anything yet, but we'll see what happens after here. I have a couple more hours of daylight, and so let's see. Hey guys, I'm back. So we are at the 7.5-hour mark, and we can see some creasing like in the corner of my eyes, which I didn't powder. I didn't apply that mineral veil, the Bareminerals mineral veil. I didn't apply it in that section. So I think that the next time I wear this, if I powder on the inner portion of the eye, that won't happen, because I powdered on my T-zone and my nose, and there's no creasing on the side of my nose. I think this tinted, you know, Complexion foundation has done really well. I have sweat quite a bit today, and it's held up great. It's done really good with the oils of my like T-zone and my cheeks. And I don't know, I just think that for a tinted moisturizer, I think it's just held up really, really nicely. It hasn't broken apart, especially on my nose. You can see that I have a little bit of my oils coming through, so there is that like natural glow, but it's not anything crazy. My forehead looks good. I usually have a wrinkle here just from doing this a lot, I guess, and so a lot of the times foundation can end up accumulating there, and it's pretty much good. So it looks like wherever I set the foundation, because I know that that's where most of the oils in my face will accumulate, it did really well. The sides of my face, I don't get a ton of oil, but look, it's held up really good, and I didn't really like set this like my jaw or like the bottom of my cheek, and it's held up really nice. The foundation hasn't come off or anything, so I think it's done really good. I'm actually very impressed with this foundation. I'll continue to use it and give you guys an update on it. I am outside getting the last little bit of light, but I really do like this foundation. I think Bareminerals did a phenomenal job creating this formula, and I recommend it for my combination oily girls out there. So I think you'll really like it. If you've really been wondering about the Complexion Rescue foundation, and you know, you just knew that wasn't gonna work for you because it's very dewy, then I think you're really gonna like this. I think this is gonna be a nice alternative. You know, well, it's the same thing, it's the same version, but you know, you guys know what I mean. It's gonna be a nice choice for you, and I think that the price point is good. It's not much more expensive than any of the other foundations that Bareminerals sells, and I just think honestly for a full day, for a tinted moisturizer, I think it just like held up, I feel like, just as good as any of my other foundations, in my opinion. I mean, you guys tell me, what do you guys think about the finish and the longevity of it? I personally like it, but again, it's not going to be full coverage, so you see a lot of my scars still coming through, but I really do like the way that it looks natural, and it kind of has melted into my skin, and just it looks like skin basically. It doesn't look like I'm wearing foundation. All right, that completes this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching, and see you guys next time. Bye.